Today, we are talking about improving the experience of your users. So the idea and the theme that I'll be using throughout this session is these three users and how we can improve the experience for these three users. So starting with our first user, so this is somebody who needs to find out what the yield strength of a particular steel is for their model in ANSYS. So we have that user. We also have another user who just wants to find a polymer with a low thermal expansion. So just wants to play around with some data and look at some information about polymers. Finally, we have our user who needs to just upload or import some data into the system. Now, for each one of these users, we do have tools specifically designed for these use cases. So as you can imagine, this user who wants to use ANSYS data, well, we have the materials gateway for them. For somebody who just wants to play around with some data and explore some data, we have MI Explore. And for this person who's just uploading some data, we have Remote Import. But as you can imagine, these people might just be wandering over the company intranet and come across MI Viewer or come across a link to it recommended from their friends. So if these people came across this first homepage, honestly, they might not know what to do. There's a lot of different databases loaded on this system. They might not know which ones are the correct databases for them to use. They could do a quick search, but they might not be using appropriate search terms, or they might just get too many results. So this session is going to be all about how we can guide them to exactly the information they need using homepages. So the first thing we want to do when we do that is get them to the correct data sets. Make sure that the person who's interested in polymers is guided to all the polymer data. The person who's interested in design data just gets design data. So to do that, we'll create profiles and we'll create an application homepage. The next thing we want to do is get them to the correct material records within those profiles. We'll do that using profile and data module homepages with searches and browsing help in them. Finally, we want to make sure that they can get the data out that they're interested in. So once they found the records that they're interested in and the attributes they're interested in, we'll give them some help and training within those homepages.